This pretentious, well, it's not pretentious, right? The most important thing is simple life. Right, we need you. But in the winter, that paperwork that is going to stay in the back. With you today. Gee whiz, I'm feeling good, Nick, today. Most important thing with this simple life, but this Maggie Mermism, I mean, it's actually deadly serious. Over the last couple of years, I wonder if I'll ever get to writing up my last couple of years, but it's fascinating. I mean, we have a couple of recent examples yet again, but they're so minor. The people concerned would think they matter. I know that, I mean, you have to listen to you have to go to the Why 2024 page. I've got a recording in there as to the environmental and small-scale community egalitarian, i.e. Blocking mega developments of rich people, basically gated economies near a nature reserve. 10 years, longer than 10 years actually, 20 years of actually doing things in the environment, and to some extent just the fragile, smaller scale communities. Risky, big time, done stuff, really done stuff. Nobody I've ever known does anything, and of course they deep down totally resent me. No interest in that. But the point is you can never rely on any of them. I mean, all people, me included, I've been looking for somebody who could be my address. I've got away with 3 years of no address, retaining my insurance miraculously. So, you can't rely on anybody. Even people for years I've discussed at great length, one-to-one, the oppression towards the environment, towards the bottom half in terms of housing, etc. Now, you can't fucking trust one of them. They always bite. No interest. But Maggie Mermism, unfortunately, it is so problematical because you need somebody who's a lover, loved partner, someone you can just tolerate. Maggie Mermism entirely works against that, meaning, oh, you've got to be a certain kind of personality, or if you've got Asperger's or ADHD, let's get you some treatment. There is no treatment. It's because your parents were twats, and we knew the rules of parenting 40 years ago. Even my no. Let's not go there. It really is. There are always a very small percentage of people who are at the extreme end of being dysfunctional. But Maggie Mermism works against. If you're going to do anything in the community, you need 1 or 2 people close by you can trust, you can rely on. In other words, will you be my address whilst I'm, well, in my case, I wasn't really planning to, but I am writing so many truths that certain people, if they encounter them, they will want to hurt. Now, they can't, I don't care, but you need a reliable person. Will you hold my mail or something like that? Nope. Nobody will do that, except in Britain, except a many-year friend. But friends are more of a city thing. In the rural areas, it's like, it's got to be mutual benefit, as it should be. Okay? A trusted neighbour over the years or something like that. Now, I, being in the bottom third or bottom half, don't really have that. And furthermore, I put my efforts, my soul, into various things in the environment, society, that needed a bit of work on, and that everybody hates you for that, particularly in the majority of the land, which is the environment. Cornwall's just London. So your people who you're trying to be I deliberately avoid the word activist because it's been taken over by everybody. Fake. Writer and activist. Songwriter and activist. Fake. All fake. Real activism, or I always search for a better word, getting involved, taking part. It's fucking dangerous. People don't like it, particularly if they know you're good. I have a track record. It's there online. A successful past anti-establishment or anti-rote thinking operator. They fear that. So your murmism works against the one thing you need, because you're in Britain, your thoughtful person in the community who genuinely may mean it. They're no good. They just backstab. They just make snide personal comments because they don't do anything really. They pretend, they perform, they talk. When they go on their stupid Facebook, which I basically haven't had anything much to do with for 13 or 14 years, since I encountered. Everybody there is fake. Fake, they never do anything. You need people, you need to be bound together by joint enterprise. Doing actually things together, which may mean just jointly writing to your MP, to going to a council meeting, or writing objections about a new factory farming development, something like that. If you're doing something, you're then bound together by shared, we can use the, oppression is the wrong word, just being on the side of the goodies. It's as simple as that. But no, there is no binding together, because hardly anybody does anything, and they just backstab and snidicate when you need people to be your allies and in practical ways. No, they're not. None of them ever. I knew that a long time ago, 15 years ago in Britain. But this is where you need a woman or somebody of the opposite gender to be your special person who you can rely on for some practical this, that and the other. Murmism works against that by, Eckhart Tolle has his, unless this other person is like this or going on that journey and you're getting those signs. What a load of fucking evil nonsense. Okay, of course you don't want to be tied up with somebody who's still got all their fucking demons inside and lashes out and needs to process or express their pains from their childhood or whatever. Of course not. But sorry, the great majority of people are different in their cultural, how they express the culture they've had and how they're expressing it. That's got nothing to do with some innate psychosocial issue. That's just takes a long time to end up on the same page. It's as simple as that, and it requires working on daily. Anyway, I'm just not going to get into that. You see, I'm getting drawn in. But this murmism works totally against the only thing there is in society, unless you're simply going along as a bourgeois part of the consumerist, polluting, military-industrial complex. Unless you resist that, unless you stand up against it, you are complicit. Once you say past 50, you're just going along with it. And you are. Unless you even resist just the little bits of resistance. As soon as you do that for real, you need somebody to rely on to some extent or another. You cannot rely on your own supposed tribes of fellow resistors. No, not in Britain. Never. I've got brilliant stories of that. So you need somebody who's you may end up being with them, although ideally you are with them for life. You share a bed with them. And sometimes it may be a different bedroom if you're snoring too much, whatever. But that person is all you have if you're genuinely resisting. Because if you're genuinely resisting, that means the majority of people in your community who are all polluters, all part of it, you may at least need to say things about that. then you get ostracized. Oh, who's that foreign bird in a boat in the corner? You know, which probably yet another lie I heard. But you need because you if you've genuinely resisted or just taken part, you know there's danger. You know you have it inside that you may need a trusted person over a period of time, or one or two people. You only know that if you've taken part properly. So, Mermism, unfortunately, has totally worked against this and destroyed it. Right, I've got to go, otherwise I'll get done.